Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And from this video on, you will be able to activate 1440p on these Kingdom Come videos. I finally got the graphics card that I actually talked about way early in the series. I think it was actually maybe in the first or second episode or something that I mentioned that I was going to upgrade. However, it took a long time because there was a graphics card shortage a little bit, and yeah, so it was actually really difficult to get the new one. But we finally have it, and we're actually on ultra settings right now, ultra everything, and getting a very stable 100 FPS at pretty much all times. And you may have noticed that these settings were actually increased a few episodes ago. However, I forgot to actually increase the size of the actual videos in my editing software. So we had the ultra settings, but we did not actually have the 1440p there on YouTube. But you should have that now, as long as everything has gone correctly. So that is going to hopefully make the viewing experience just that little bit much better for you all. So in the last episode, we managed to actually do the Thunderstone quest, and I started talking about another quest that I was unable to start because of a glitch. I think I have resolved this. I think I've found a solution, which I will explain later on in this video. But for now, we are going to actually do some quests over in the Sigismund's camp area of this map. And as we usually do, we are going to take care of some perk points. And as you can see, we have a ton of them. We have 12. I don't even know exactly where we got all of them, but it's mainly because we have them across many different skills, like scholarship. I think I did a little bit of like reading or something like that, and it got me those. And then I did some drinking while I was just sitting around waiting. As you tend to do, you just sit around in Bohemia and drink when you are, waiting for things. And then marksmanship. So we're going to go ahead and go with main level first, of course. And we're probably going to go with well built. We don't want to increase how good we are in combat too much. As you can see, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I am actually rocking a poleaxe now. And then I actually also, when we were in Kudenberg last, I picked up a new handgun. So basically, this is called a hook gun, and it should be about the same as the normal handguns, except from what I understand, it shoots a little bit faster. So I think you lose a little bit of power, but when it comes to a gun at this point, since they can mostly just take out fully armored people either way, I don't think that the power is going to hurt too much. I just want to have that speed. And then I also got scattershot ammo for it, which should kind of make it act a little bit more like a shotgun to some extent, like it's a scatter shot. So hopefully that means I can actually hit some things with it. But if not, then I will probably just discontinue it, sell it off, and keep using the crossbow. I do very much like crossbows in this game, so I'm just hoping that I can at least throw the guns into our gameplay a little bit here. But I do think that the poleaxe will be pretty cool. From what I understand, they are the worst weapons in the game, but I think they could still be kind of fun. I think the main issue with it right now is that they are a reach weapon, and anytime you use them in combat, you will notice that people just close the distance just due to the way animations and stuff work. So hopefully they fix that so that you can actually maintain a distance if you are skilled enough to do that. Maybe use a good amount of dodges or something like that to utilize this. So we'll just have to see. But otherwise, we do have our trusty longsword, Radzig Kobyla's longsword, of course, so we will use that if necessary. But we are going to go with well built because we don't want to increase our combat capabilities too much, and a little bit of extra carrying capacity won't hurt. I actually don't know. We have about 4,000 gold almost, so I can loot a little bit more and pick up even more. The only other things I can think of to buy at this point, though, are like things for my horse. I am going to try to get a nicer looking whatever it's called to cover them with. I always forget what that's called. Comparison. Get a little bit better of a comparison. So we just have the scouts one. And it does look nice, but I think there are nicer ones. So we'll probably just go with some like fashion kinds of items at this point. But otherwise, let's go for strength, and we're probably gonna go with, let's say, probably the Grand Slam, because it'll only increase blunt damage, and we don't do a whole lot of blunt damage in general, so that's probably the best one that will still technically help us, but won't help us very much. And then, let's see, we will probably go for the piercing damage here because these other ones are actually decent. If you use a one-handed weapon without a shield, attacks will cost 20% less stamina. Now, I don't think, I mean, technically, I think we might have a perk that allows our longsword to become a one-handed, technically. But I don't think that makes it count as an actual one-handed weapon. These other ones are just too good, so we'll go with the piercing because we don't do a whole lot of stab attacks. And then vitality. We will probably just go with the Revenant so that we can recover quickly up to 75 health. That'll be just, convenient. So we'll do that one. And for speech, you can sell stolen goods to anyone without fear of detection. Dreaded Warriors, Battle Cry, Battle Cry. Probably just the Polished Wares one, so I can sell good condition weapons for a little bit more. And we'll probably go... Oh, Martin's Secret will allow you basically to forge the 4th tier of weapons. Bowyer? Bows and crossbows that you repair yourself with a Bowyer's kit are 10% more powerful. That sounds okay. Stolen weapons, I don't care about that. When picking locks, your thievery skill will count as 3 higher, so it'll be a lot easier, plus you can also make use of scrap iron, so that part's probably not going to be useful for us. But the first part, a little bit higher thieving skill whenever you try to lockpick, basically. It's either that or the helping hand one. Weapons you forge will have excellent properties and will therefore take damage 20% slower. Okay, maybe we'll actually go with that one. I may have to... Hardened Steel. I'm thinking that this is actually the best for us, where it won't help us too much. I do repairs with the Craftsman a little bit, but I tried to do our repairs ourselves as much as possible. I don't really sharpen swords, though, very often. Actually, I don't even know how damaged our current sword is. It's only at 90. I don't think I've ever repaired this, so I don't think that's really that necessary. So we're probably going to go with the Hardened Steel then. The weapons you forge. Wait, hold on. Weapons you forge. Okay. Okay, yeah, I was thinking repair for some reason. Okay, so probably the helping hand then, although it's very difficult to pick between that and the locksmith. I'm going to go with locksmith because very hard locks being easier will definitely be quite nice. We're going to go with that. Very indecisive on that particular one, but it's just a little bit difficult sometimes. Now, Experience Reveler. When you're drunk, life is just somehow nicer. The bonuses of the positive phase of drunkenness come into full effect. We're going to go with this. Because occasionally, I mean, even if you just save with the Savior Schnapps and you have a little bit of a drunkenness, I assume that that's the positive state, so that should be good. And then we have another one here, apparently. We will probably go... Commit a minor crime, no. Wine or beer healing you, no. Beer sates you twice as much. I guess we'll just take the fall damage one, I suppose. Nothing too special there. I don't know if any of these are really... Oh, okay. We'll probably go with the Roadrunner. Horses using 5% less stamina when riding on roads, we'll just take that. It's super simple, and it's just a little nice buff. And none of these Houndmaster ones are good anymore. We don't need Hunt, we don't need Search. That's basically just for finding things or hunting game. And we don't really need food because Henry just... He's very hungry all the time, but he just has tons of honey, so that's never an issue. We'll just take the body heat. I don't really sleep outdoors much. I think I've only done it like 5 times this entire playthrough. But if we do, then we'll have a better bed quality, I suppose, so we'll just take it. And now Scholarship will probably take the Fundamentals of Law. Wait, we already have that one. Fundamentals of Theology, is that the one? Reputation recovery for undertaking the penitential pilgrimage will be more effective, and the buff from the first level of this perk. Yeah, so I think this is the perk that I want to end up getting as well as Explorer. Fundamentals of Law would just be kind of funny, because you can basically talk your way out of crimes. But otherwise, probably just going to go with the Fundamentals of Theology here so we can get that second level for the penitential pilgrimage that will come up later, and marksmanship. We have one here, and we will probably go with steady aim. I liked having this one to begin with. If you don't move for 2 or more seconds while aiming, your stamina will drain 20% slower and your shot will be 15% stronger. This is a nice way to just get the jump on like a group of people. So we're going to go ahead and take that. And otherwise, we're going to get to these quests at Sigismund's camp, and then we will talk about that glitched quest after that.
You there, lad! Aren't you here for the requisitioning?
What about it?
I need to requisition supplies for the camp from the locals. Grub for us, fodder for the horses.
Where do you want to get the supplies?
We haven't been to Bohunjovitz in a while. I reckon they can't wait to see us.
Who's coming along?
Me, and they usually send some humans along because people are afraid of them.
That's not much.
And that's why you're coming with me. But don't worry, I already sent a couple of blokes ahead to get everything ready. I reckon they can handle a few peasants.
Won't the people resist?
They will, but fuck all good it'll do them. We'll chase them out of their houses, bring in the cart, and take whatever we can.
And what if something goes wrong?
That'll only happen if we take our eyes off them. Then there might be bloodshed, but usually not ours.
I don't need to hear any more. Let's head out.
Which one of us is in charge here? But you're right. Let's get going. Mount up!
Here we are, youngster.
Hoi charter Kierket! Mindenket!
Kifelé! Mozogsz, te nyomorult! Te is! Kifelé!
Come on, we don't have all day for this! Ne pozoroja, dokąd i döda zarakiwas od parastal! Shut the fuck up over there!
Fucking peasants. This requisitioning's a pain in the ass. Well then, old star. Have you got the supplies for the king, like we agreed? Hmm?
We prepared what we could.
Where did the men I sent in advance run off to? I just hope they're sleeping off the hangover from your friendly welcome.
Your men? Nobody was here.
God fucking damn it! Can't even rely on forward patrols anymore. If I catch them, they'll hang. Kurva! What about the food for us? Flour, cabbage, meat, cheese, eggs. Like last time.
We've got everything, just not as much as last time. We gave what we could, but we're living hand to mouth as is.
Then you better pray it's enough. The lad here will check it and load it onto the wagon. Got it?
Shouldn't we leave them something?
Why the fuck would we do that?
So they don't go hungry.
These village idiots are used to going hungry. Soldiers aren't. Now come off it before I have you whipped.
All right then. Where should I start?
The men will help you out.
None of that. I said the lad would do it. Tell your people to stay where they are so I can see them. We don't want anyone to get hurt, do we?
We definitely don't.
Tell him where to go so we got this over with.
Everyone is standing in front of their cottages. The biggest house in the village belongs to Fowl. Next to him lives Old Man Willow. And across from Willow, above the stream, is Smill's house. And mine is above that. I'll go there with you myself.
You'll stay right here.
Ask my daughter, Sofka. She'll show you where the supplies are prepared.
And what about that fifth house?
Nobody has lived there for years. The whole family died of the plague.
Fine. Now enough talk, peasant. Let's get to it. I want to be finished by nightfall. And you, lad, wait a mo.
What?
Come closer, so I don't have to yell. Now listen close, and remember what I say. First of all, I don't want to see you showing pity for those yokels. And second, I'm bloody well sure these peasant rats hid something somewhere.
Why would they risk it?
Oh, come on. I'd do exactly the same. Nobody wants to go hungry. Don't believe a word those stinking bastards say, and look through those houses of theirs from top to bottom to make sure they don't have something tucked away.
What if they're not lying and they really have nothing left to eat?
These peasants are used to being hungry, now come off it! They can be glad we're doing this the easy way, for now. If there's not enough food, they'll have me to answer to. So, food on the cart, all valuables and silver straight to me.
Thanks for standing up to your captain for us. You don't see that every day.
Not that it did any good. Now I'm worried all I did was piss him off more. What if your food won't be enough for him, and he has you killed?
We'll put ourselves in God's hands. If the war doesn't kill us, the hunger will.
If you help me, the commander will be satisfied, and we can leave here peacefully.
But how? We already gave you all we had.
Are you trying to tell me you didn't put something aside? Really?
Why would I lie to you?
To protect your people? But believe me, if it isn't enough, the commander will have you killed.
Without food, we'll die anyway.
You'll stay alive for now, and you'll still have hope.
But for how long?
As long as necessary. Sigismund's army is crumbling, and will pull out soon. You've already suffered so much. You wouldn't die for a meal now, would you?
I suppose you're right. I can't tell you much. If it got out I helped you, the others would never forgive me.
Anything will help. So spit it out.
Look in Smill's cellar, and in Fowl's stable.
And what about the last house?
Leave old man Willow out of this, please. His son is hurt, and he's suffered enough already.
Hurt, you say? What happened to him?
I already told you more than I should have. Pack up your supplies and leave well enough alone already. Please.
You haven't told me about your house yet.
I was hoping you'd forget about it. Look behind the house, where the big pile of manure is. That's all I can tell you. Really.
Well, I thought we could help each other. But you're not making it easy for me.
Only me and my daughter Sofka know about the last hiding place. And she's no fool. If you find it, she'll know I must have blabbed.
If she really is so smart, she'll surely understand you did it to save everyone.
I hope you're right. Now listen close. Back behind the abandoned house are 3 plague graves. The one on the left is empty. Well, empty except for the supplies I buried there.
See? I knew we'd come to an agreement. Well, where are your supplies for the king?
Right behind the door, leaning against the wall. Everything's ready to go.
What's the point? We'll die of hunger here.
Supplies, ready for the king.
Sofka.
I won't get anything out of him in this state. Maybe I could do something to help him. Let's take a look then. I reckon I won't be able to fix you up completely, but maybe at least enough to talk to you. I'll try to take the bandage off for a moment so I can take a look at your wounds. You better pray my hands are steady. Careful. It's sticky with blood.
Ow!
Those are some deep wounds. From a sword. Show me those wounds. I've seen this before. Deep wounds, miserably dressed, and not even cleaned. It's no wonder you're in so much pain. That should do it. I'll have to clean the wounds, preferably with some strong spirits, and then re-bandage them. And it's gonna hurt, so I should find something for the pain before that. Let's get to it. First, I'll give you something for the pain. Here. A little wine. Now I'll clean the wound, if I have something to do it with. That should be enough. Now I'll re-bandage your wound.
Ow!
And that's that. That'll have to do. Hopefully I'll get something meaningful out of him now. Hey! Wake up!
It hurts. What happened?
I was hoping you'd tell me. Who roughed you up like this?
Soldiers. I have to. Are you one of them?
Don't worry. I won't hurt you. I just treated you so you wouldn't die here. What soldiers are you talking about?
They came to take everything away from us. Like always. Sigismund's men. We were only defending ourselves.
What happened to you?
I tried to stop them. So they, wouldn't take anything more from us. So they wouldn't come back. So, we sent them away.
Where can I find these soldiers?
I don't know. There was a fight. There's a hayloft nearby. We sent them there. Oh. I should have listened to her.
Get some rest. I won't get anything more out of you now, anyway. What happened to that injured fellow?
He's my son. He was attacked by a group of cutthroats when he was returning from Kuttenberg.
And where did they find him?
Just a short way from here, near Opatovitz.
It's just a stone's throw from the military camp, though. Who dared to rob people there?
Well, I don't know.
I think you're lying to me.
My God, what more do you want? You took our food, nearly murdered my son. Sakra.
Well. So no robbers?
It was them two soldiers who came before you. Sofka, my son's sweetheart, caught their eye. They took her aside to... well, you know what soldiers do to girls. Vitek wanted to protect her. So him and a few lads attacked them with pitchforks. They killed them both. But Vitek came out of it worse for wear.
Where can I find that girl?
She's Binyek's daughter. She'll be standing in front of her house, like all the others.
What should I do with you now?
Don't tell anyone. Please. They'll kill us all.
That all depends on what you tell me in return. Tell me where you hid your supplies from us, and don't tell me you didn't.
Oh, God forgive me.
How about Smill, for instance? Did he hide anything?
He was recently boasting about some barrels of good beer. He said I should come over sometime.
And do you know where I'd find them?
I reckon in the cellar, right behind the cottage. He's got a fairly sturdy lock on it.
That's not enough for me. What else do you know? What can you tell me about that fowl from next door?
He's the only one in the village who has livestock. 2 lovely fattened cows.
Well now, where can I find them?
If the cows aren't in the byre, then he had to drive them somewhere where they wouldn't be found. He often walked them down to the stream to drink. To the right of the bridge.
Thanks. I'll take a look there. What else do you have for me? Spit it out.
I'll never forgive myself for this.
What did Binyek hide, and where? For sure he didn't give me everything either.
Do you know those plague graves beyond the village? Right behind the deserted cottage? At night, I saw Binyag burying something there. I'm sure he was hiding supplies there.
He hid food in a grave. I'll take a look there.
That really is everything. I don't know anything more.
All right then. At least you told me something. I'll leave you be for now.
What's going to happen to my son?
Have no fear. I'm not like those soldiers who came before.
God bless you.
About your son,
What about him?
I helped him. I redressed his wounds.
Thanks. Has he woken up yet? And did you speak to him?
He told me everything.
Oh, sweet mother of God. It wasn't his fault. They started everything. It was them two soldiers who came before you. Sofka, my son's sweetheart, caught their eye. They took her aside to... well... you know what soldiers do to girls. Vitek wanted to protect her. So him and a few lads attacked them with pitchforks. They killed them both. But Vitek came out of it worse for wear.
What should I do with you now?
Don't tell anyone. Please. They'll kill us all.
You know what? Forget about it. I don't want anything from you.
Thank you. God will repay you.
I'm here for the supplies.
When you pass through the gate to the yard, you'll see them on your right.
I hope so. Supplies. Well, not much here. An empty stable. I wonder where the cows got to. Fresh manure. But no animals anywhere. I'm collecting supplies for the King's men. Do you have them ready?
They're here, right next to the door to the cottage.
Very well. There's a little bit here. It won't be enough, though. This'll be the cellar Willow was talking about. Beer. They'll be happy about this back at Sigismund's camp. You're supposed to tell me where I can find the supplies for the king.
Where do you think? Right behind the door in the cottage. Everything's ready underneath the window.
Are you Vitek's sweetheart?
I am. What do you want with him?
His father told me he saved you from the king's men when they tried to... you know.
That's true. I don't know what I would have done without him.
What exactly happened there?
These two soldiers came and told me to go with them to the hayloft. Otherwise they'd hurt me. So I went. And then, well, one of them grabbed me. So I couldn't even breathe. I was afraid they'd kill me. But then Vitek attacked them from behind. It was really brave of him.
You're saying he overpowered 2 trained soldiers by himself?
He wasn't alone. As soon as the fight broke out, my father and some other fellas from the village ran up.
Vitek's father told me a different story. He said they found him in that sorry state and carried him home. Stop lying to me, girl.
God help me, it wasn't my fault. I warned them it would end badly, but Vitek didn't listen to a word I said. He was awfully angry, just like everyone here. Then they came once again, after God knows how many times, to take supplies for their camp.
Slow down a little. Let's go over this one thing at a time. Who attacked first?
The fellas from the village. They were trying to lure the soldiers to the hayloft, saying they had the supplies there. But instead of the supplies, there were other men waiting there. And they pounced on the soldiers.
Did the soldiers do anything to you?
Not them two, no. But the other ones before them almost let us die of hunger. And these would have done the same.
What about Vitek's injury?
They did that to him after, in the fight.
Why did he do it?
Because we're desperate. We feed Sigismund's entire army and have nothing to eat ourselves. What can we live on?
Does this really resolve anything, though? Whose idea was it?
Vitek's. I tried to talk him out of it, and his father did too. But there was no getting through to him.
What did you do with the soldiers?
We buried them in the forest behind the village, just a short way away from the place where it happened.
I don't need to hear any more.
My God. What'll happen to us?
Now it's up to me if I tell anybody about it.
Just don't think about it, so you don't jinx it. Oh, come on now, Mum. Trust Father.
That still isn't enough. There's something here. I wonder what's inside. Hidden supplies.
What will become of us if they take everything from us? Don't worry.
We'll just have to endure it.
I found some valuables.
Hand them over.
Here you go.
Beautiful. Keep at it. Maybe you'll get something out of this too.
Everything's loaded up.
Is that all you found?
Yes. That's all.
Never mind. This should be enough for a few days.
Are you satisfied?
You were lucky this time, peasant.
I'm glad to hear it. But don't bother coming here next time. We've got nothing left, and we'll likely starve to death.
Are you trying to make me cry? If nothing else, I'll come back to piss on your grave. Form up! We're heading back to camp. Home sweet home.
That's for sure.
It's not much, but at least folks don't look at you like you're a murderer here. Anyway, job done. Here's your pay. Now get lost.
Never mind. I thought there was something fishy going on. Hey, good man! I need to speak with you. Hey!
What are you doing hanging around here, old man? Are you alright?
Not entirely. I'm Sir Ježek of Holohlavie.
And I'm Henry.
Well, Henry, I'm terribly sorry. But this is an ambush.
What?
Please don't make it harder for me than it already is, and surrender nicely. I don't want to hurt you.
Hold on. Maybe we can do this without anyone getting robbed. Can we talk this through?
Make it quick, though. My life is slipping away, and the sooner this unpleasantness ends, the better.
What kind of peculiar robber are you?
Robber? How dare you insult me so?
What else should I call you?
I am a man of honor. Only I've been a bit down on my luck recently.
So it seems. Even this ambush isn't working out too well for you. What you were shouting at me sounded more like rather rude begging for alms.
And what was I supposed to say?
Your money or your life? That usually does the trick.
But I don't want to take your life. I just want money.
Can't you find some fucking other way to earn coin? You said you're a knight, right? So go and serve some lord.
I'd have to get my horse and armor back first. Without them, I'm useless as a knight.
Someone stole your horse and gear? How?
It's a long story.
No matter. I have time enough.
I made my living through honorable service. Most recently as a mercenary in King Sigismund's service.
How could you fight for Sigismund? After all that foreign dog did here?
Petsunia non olet, my friend. You know the saying. Money doesn't stink. At least up to a certain point. Our unit was tasked with requisition supplies in Betschwar. That's a village not far from here. Zavish of Garbov, my commander, said the people were starting to cheat the army on supplies. So we were to reweigh and recount everything. And he was right. They were slipping sand into the flour sacks. And they were playing dumb about it. Zavish lost it. And the requisitioning turned into plundering.
I get that soldiers have to eat too, but that's disgusting.
You're absolutely right. Besides, if they gave us as much as they were ordered to, they'd barely survive. I went to Zavish to stop it. What's chivalrous about plundering and killing innocents? In the end, I challenged him to a duel. We wagered our honor, our armor, and our horses.
And you lost it all?
And with it, my place in the army.
Why did you wager everything in the first place? Is it some kind of knightly tradition?
Not always. It's a gesture to show that you really will defend your point of view at all costs.
It was noble of you to stand up for the common folk.
Perhaps. But you see the result. No good deed goes unpunished. Now, I'm trying to get enough coin to get my things back, and you seemed like a skilled fighter. That's why I chose you. If I must do something so despicable as robbing people, then at least they should be capable of defending themselves.
What if I tried to help you? I'll go to your commander and try to convince him to give it all back.
You'd do that for me?
Oh, I offered, didn't I? So, where can I find this man?
In Sigismund's camp. His name is Zavish of Garbov. He has a black eagle and 3 yellow stones on his coat of arms. He's got a rather inconspicuous tent above the camp kitchen. Hopefully you'll find it.
And how will I recognize your things? Is your coat of arms on them?
Of course. On my cuirass and on the caparison of my horse Gringolet. It's the same as I have on my shield here. A black raven with a ring in its beak on a yellow ground. If you get my things back from Zavish, come and see me in the tavern in Pshitok. They let me sleep in the hay there.
Tell me something about yourself. Where are you from?
Holohlavi. It's a village near Hradec. My family's been there for 4 generations.
I've never been there.
It doesn't matter. I haven't set foot there for a good 40 years.
That long? How come?
I'd rather not get into it.
Look, everyone's been through something they'd rather not talk about. I'm not going to judge you.
You wouldn't understand anyway.
Well, now I'm really in the mood to help you.
Sorry, Actually, it's stupid. I had a disagreement with my brother.
And? That's it?
See? You don't understand. Otmar is older, so when my father died, he took over the running of the fortress and the village.
Older than you? My word. Sorry. So, you argued about the inheritance?
No, I was just a boy then, and I wasn't much interested in such things. Otmar wanted me to be chaplain of the church in Holoclavi. But that wouldn't have been the life for me. Ever since I heard the stories of King Arthur as a child, I knew I'd be a knight.
You are one now, though, aren't you?
I don't mean by title. I'm talking about battles and tournaments and romance. Anyway, I soon abandoned my studies and began getting somewhere with a sword in my hand.
I completely understand you. Your brother shouldn't have forced you into something you didn't want.
You really don't know how it works in noble families, do you? Otmar needed to secure his position because the church owns a lot of land in Holoclavi. He didn't care about me at all. But no matter, I'm happier like this anyway. Or at least I used to be. Otmar gave me the armor and the horse. Would you believe it?
Really? Why would he do that?
After I ran away, I struggled and rarely had 2 groschen to rub together. Otmar found out about it and tracked me down. I was afraid that he would drag me home and force me to go back to my studies. But instead, he gave me armor and his best horse and told me to go and be a knight if I must, but not to return home.
You'd rather rob wayfarers than return home? That must have been a damn serious parting of ways.
Even if I could return home, how would that turn out? I've accomplished nothing with my life, and I even lost everything Otmar gave me. So what else is there for me to do? I can't do anything but fight. And I can't even do that like I used to.
And don't you ever miss your brother?
After all these years, more and more, who knows if he's even still alive?
Don't worry. You'll get your things back.
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll see your brother again.
Lord be with you.
Excuse me, sir. My name is Henry, and...
Forget the pleasantries. Czego chcesz?
I've come about Sir Jerzek of Holoclavi.
Ależ, no w takim razie to zacznij gorzь, prawda? Such a distinguished visit. What do you want from me?
I want you to give him his things back. His armor and horse.
Oh, you want them, do you? Well, I suppose I ought to get right to it. And toss in a few extra groschen on top, eh? I'd rather let the armor rust than give it back to Jerzek. Did he even tell you how he lost it?
He told me you argued, and he challenged you to a duel.
And did he tell you why?
Because you torched a village full of innocent people.
Innocent people? Nie prycz tego skurwysyna. They tried to cheat us. They gave us sacks full of sand instead of flour. They knew exactly what could happen to them.
Look, I understand that you're mad at Jerzek, but he needs help. It's just not right for a lord to become a thief.
So that is what his lordship from Holoclavi is doing now.
What else is left when you've taken everything from him? You're the only one who can do anything about it.
Yes, maybe I can send my men to drag him here in chains and lash him with a whip.
You know what? I've had enough of this. I should have known right away. There's no reasoning with a murderer like you. It's people like you with no conscience who make war so ugly. If Jerzek had beaten you, then...
Jerzek lost! And he still understood nothing. You know what? I'll give you Jerzek's armor and his old nag, but we will duel. Nice and chivalrously, like knights should. I will bet the horse and armor, and you will match the price in groschen. It will give us both something to strive for.
What kind of duel?
We will compete in 3 rounds. Pole arms first, then short swords and shields, and finally with long swords. Each man shall take his own weapons and armor. All you have to do to win is beat the other man twice, and the winner takes it all.
All right, I accept.
Excellent! Get yourself the necessary armor and equipment. When you are ready, bring me the coin, and we will start.
All right, I'm ready. We can fight.
Tough Spaniale. But you have to put down the coin up front.
Here you go. Down to the last groschen.
Just how I like it. How should the herald introduce you?
I want it to be known that Henry of Skalitz defeated you, and that he did it for all the common folk who had their roofs burned over their heads because of the likes of you.
Very nice speech. But let us see how you talk when I knock some of your teeth out. Come on. I cannot wait.
Hail, gentlemen, brave knights, loyal comrades. Today, we will witness a duel between Sir Zavish of Garabov, called the Black, and Henry of Skalitz. Henry, a commoner, will fight today in the name of Sir Jezek of Holohlavi. The noble lord of Garabov has decided to accept the challenge because of this very fact. With 3 duels, they will settle once and for all the dispute between the Lord of Gabov and the Lord of Holohlavi. I ask both combatants to take their positions and take up arms. Let the clash of pole arms begin!
No job. Too slow. No, you don't. Oh, Christ. Shit. Wanker. No shot.
Right on the noggin. What's wrong? Don't like red. I'll smash your face! Fuck that! No, you don't. Too slow. Right on the noggin.
Lord Savish of Garabov, just as expected. Both combatants may now catch their breath.
Damn, that hurts. Can you do something about it?
It's nothing, you baby. It'll heal before your wedding.
Both combatants are ready for the second round. The duel with one-handed weapons can begin.
No, you don't. Useless. Oh, Christ! Shit!
And thus the duel of shields comes to an end. And the winner is... Henry of Skullet's unbelievable god must have guided his hand. Both combatants may now tend to their wounds and rearm themselves for the third and final duel. The noblest fight begins. The longsword duel.
Useless. Too slow. No, you don't. Oh, you son of a bitch! Wanker!
I'm here. Fucking hell! Useless. Fuck that. Do it.
The duel is at its end, and the undisputed winner is Henry of Scullets. He's defeated his rival with an incredible performance. All three duels were well fought, and God was on the side of the one in the right. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it. The brave Henry has defeated the Lord of Garboff in 2 fights today. And thus he has cleared the name of the valiant Sir Jezek of Holohlavi. The dispute between these two gentlemen is now at an end. Glory to the victor, honor to the vanquished.
Well, is that everything?
Is it not enough for you? I admit it. You know how to fight. I have won a few tournaments, defeated all kinds of knights. But I did not beat you.
I thought losing would make you angrier.
I would like to kill you like a dog, but you won fair and square. I must give you that. You will find the horse stabled up by the gate, and you can take the armor from my chest.
Haven't you forgotten something?
The groschen are in the chest, too.
All those poor people whose village you torched finally got justice.
I'm sure it'll warm their little hearts when they're digging through the ashes for a bit of flour they didn't want to give us.
Well, that should be everything. Jezek's sure to be happy. Hey there, pony. If only you knew how much trouble you caused me, friend. I'm sure Jezek can't wait to see you. All right, boy, we're here. I'm sure your master is waiting for you. About these things of yours.
Did Zavish listen to you? Tell me, how did it go?
Well, it wasn't easy. I had to take part in a knightly duel.
Damn. He didn't hurt you too much, I hope.
Well, for a moment, I was afraid I would disgrace myself. But in the end, I beat Zavish.
But he's a tournament veteran. You have my admiration, lad. What about my Gringolet? Did he give him to you?
He's waiting for you at the inn. He's really quite a good horse for his age.
The best. The House of Holohlavi will be forever in your debt. Take this shield, so at least you'll have something to remember me by if this is farewell for good, which is quite likely given how old and grey I am. I'd like to give you my spurs. You may not be a knight, but they can still be of use to you.
Ah, it was no bother. And what are you going to do next? I trust you're done with robbing.
As the Lord is my witness, I'm done. It's time for me to go home. Who knows? Maybe I can even reconcile with my brother. I told you about him, remember?
That's not a bad idea. So, take care. And give your brother my greetings.
I'll try. God bless you, Henry.
Calm down. Surely there's a reasonable explanation for this.
You could stick your reason up your arse. I told you something like this would happen. We never should have stopped bringing the offerings.
Your offerings are a blasphemy before God, and this is his punishment. I won't stand for any heathen idolatry here, especially this close to the church.
What idolatry? The pit to hell is real, and Father Richard knew it all too well. If nobody feeds them hellish beasts, all of us here is as good as dead.
There are no hellish beasts here.
So is it us that killed them cows ourselves, eh? I'm telling you, we've angered hell itself, and now this is the devil's payback.
I've really had enough of this. I promise to have it checked out, and everything will be explained. And now, return to your homes and pray.
This won't end well. We can't drive away the devil with nothing but prayer.
Everyone, go and pray to the Lord. End of discussion.
What happened here?
Something killed the villagers' cattle.
You think it was wolves?
That's what I think. But some of the locals got it into their heads that demons or some other hellish beasts are to blame. Just so you're aware, there's an abandoned mine not far from here where miners supposedly dug so deep they struck a gate to hell.
Wait, you mean a real gate to hell? Like fire and brimstone? A stench?
The locals believe it. In fact, they even started the custom of bringing offerings in hopes of pacifying hell and keeping the devils below ground.
Did it work?
How could it possibly work? The whole lot of it's a fabrication. And what makes it even more tragic is that it was the former priest, Father Richard's notion. Can you believe it? A priest coming up with such heresy. I simply won't allow it.
So you forbade the offerings, and immediately after, the cattle were slaughtered. What if demons really did do it? Out of revenge?
Or maybe it was wolves. Or anyone who just wanted to make it look that way. I want to uncover the truth. And you can help me. The locals are too frightened to go searching on their own. And I'm willing to pay you.
Is there really a pit to hell in the mine? What does it look like?
It's just a normal mine gallery. At least it was, until a cave-in happened a few years back. Sadly, a lot of local miners died that day. The mine was closed immediately after. Some say it was because of the cave-in, others because the vein ran dry. But the locals are convinced it's because a gate to hell opened there. Just a lot of gossip.
Tell me about yourself. You're pretty young to be a priest.
I am. That's my stumbling block. I studied theology in Prague, and even so, the locals won't take me seriously. So I only come here to preach. Otherwise, I live in my parish in Sedlitz.
What about the priest before you? He's not around anymore?
No, he's not. Old Father Richard passed on, and now I serve here in his place. I pray that the good Lord welcomed him to his bosom, despite all the heresy he committed here.
How can I help you?
I can only think of one way, and that's to go directly to the mine and uncover the truth behind these stories.
You want me to go to the pit of hell?
Don't tell me you put stock in those old wives' tales. But because the locals do, you'll have to go to the mine the same way they did, with a bit of food as an offering. You'll place it there, just as they did, and wait for something to happen. Meanwhile, I'll go to the nearby tavern, find a few brave fellows, and we'll scour the area. Then, we'll all meet up by the mine. What do you say?
Sounds like a job for me.
Here, take some food as an offering. And when no devils show up, you can eat it yourself. I'll go and gather the men, and as soon as we're all ready, we'll meet you at the mine.
And where can I find this mine?
You go west from the village, past the old mine buildings, until you reach one that's collapsed. The mine entrance is next to it. God be with you.
Ugh. It really does smell like hell here. Might there be some truth to the stories?
Oh, Jesus. What a diabolical stink. Ugh. All right then. Let's see if we can't lure the devil out.
did all my things go? Jesus. What the fuck is going on here? What's this? Did the knight write this? The pit to hell, and that knight is guarding it. Looks like some kind of contract. It must be important if he locked it away. The knight's been guarding this place against demons. It's written here that someone is supposed to come and take his place. But who?
Who goes there? I am the shield of gods, demon. I am Taras.
Benedict Deus Deus! Gloria Patri!
Vade Satana, inventor et magister omnis fallaciae, hostis humani salutis.
So many corpses. This is where the mining accident must have happened. And that stink! Could there really be a gateway to hell here? Everything's here. All right. More entries. Also written by the knight?
Until even the survivors who hide from you have perished. Can you see Abraham? Can you see Lazarus? knows he's still alive.
Even more entries. My God. How long has he been here? Christ. He went completely mad.
So you live, demon. Not much longer.
Stop, Taras! I'm here to take your place, under the terms of your contract with Father Richard. I'm your replacement.
What? Oh, you're here to relieve me? You've come to battle hell in my place?
I just need to know more.
I'm the one who guards the pit of hell. The final shield between it and the world above. My watch is over, now that you're here.
How long have you been guarding this mine?
A long time. For many more winters than was agreed. He betrayed me! 5 years? Or was it 4? Time passes so strangely in the dark. You'll see that for yourself.
What led you to accept such a task?
I committed terrible deeds. So terrible my soul would surely sink down to hell. Standing up against hell was the only way to cleanse myself. The priest promised me as much. Father Richard from Old Kutna.
Father Richard died. Now there's a new priest in Old Kutna.
What? But he and I just spoke. Shadows and flames! The devil can't get Taras Mura!
I think I get it now.
But I still need your oath. Have you come to relieve me?
Yes, I have. My name is Henry of Skalitz, and I've come to take your burden upon myself. Exactly as it's written in the contract.
Oh, thank the Lord! Thank you!
Let's formalize our agreement outside, under the open heavens. Under the eye of God.
Oh, you're right. We'll handle everything under his gaze. Let's go out. You first, Henry of Skalitz. Up the ladder. Until the oath is made, I can't leave you down here alone with the pit of hell.
All right. Let's not get hasty now. I can explain everything.
Lord have mercy.
What's going on here?
That's it! That's the beast!
Henry, who is that?
Don't speak to him! He's in league with that demon!
No! You've got it all wrong. I went into the mine as we agreed, and it's there that I ran into Sir Taras here.
Sir Taras signed a contract with Father Richard. He was meant to guard the gateway to Hell and receive regular supplies from the locals in return. He had me confused with a demon, but we managed to clear everything up in the end. I've got the contract here. See for yourself.
A contract? Well, I was sure all of this was mere heathen idolatry.
Father Richard never said nothing about a contract to no one. All he said was to provide food to keep the pit of hell quiet.
Maybe Father Richard feared you wouldn't listen otherwise. None of this, however, rights the wrongs committed by Sir Taras. Or are you looking to pardon him for slaying the cattle?
I have no need for pardons from you. I've spent years in the dark protecting you, ingrates. Meanwhile, you lot broke the promise and forgot about me. You'll pay for that!
Everyone calm down. The only crime committed here is ignorance. Apart from Father Richard and Sir Taras, no one knew of the contract. And when Father Richard died, Sir Taras was left on his own with his oath. He was kept alive by nothing but superstition and the offerings you brought to pacify hell. And when the offerings stopped, Sir Taras thought you betrayed him. And so he sought his revenge.
I had no idea.
Like I said, only ignorance is to blame. But now everything has been explained. So there's no reason to seek revenge or continue your investigation.
I won't settle for that. Fall to your knees and beg for forgiveness. I want to hear it with my own ears. You owe me that much for all the years I spent down there.
An apology? After you slaughtered our cattle?
Quiet, Vladimir. Sir Taras is right. He deserves our apology. Sir Taras, on behalf of the entire village, we ask for your forgiveness and thank you for the sacrifice you made for us. Your services are no longer needed. I'll have the mine filled in, and you'll receive all that you require. A horse, food, and supplies for the road.
So, I'm finally free? I fulfilled my oath and cleansed my soul before the eyes of God?
It's true, Sir Taras. Your sins have been washed away by your service.
Oh, thank you!
And as for you, Henry, you did even more than I asked. You've earned your reward 10 times over. Take this, and go with our thanks.
And my thanks too, lad.
My pleasure, friends. I don't think anyone's ever going to believe this story.
I'll put in a good word for you to the other priests in the region. Anthony of Visoka and Hrosnata of Rabosh could both teach you something.
Thanks.
Okay, so that is where we are going to call it. So, like I said, this quest did get bugged. So basically what I had to do was I had to walk all the way over to that mine. And all of a sudden, that father guy, he just showed up and he was just like running with some other dude. And they ran all the way back to the quest start location. It was pretty funny. I tried to talk to him and he had nothing really to say to me. And yeah, so basically if you end up getting that glitched quest, basically what happens is they just stand around at a puddle of blood and it's just like two peasants and they just kind of like stand there. And even they stand there through the night and they're just keeping real guard on that puddle of blood. Then that probably means that you are bugged and all you have to do is walk over to the mine yourself and those guys should start running back to Old Kutna and then you'll be able to start the quest normally. So that was quite nice because I think that was one of the better quests so far in the game. Of course, I liked the original bathhouse one as well, which I thought was pretty cool. It was something like, it was a little bit of a different take on a fetch quest. I mean, you had to fetch people instead of items and you kind of, just had a nice little narrative going on, and then, of course, you get drunk, and then you wake up and you have to clean up the place, and it felt very natural to something that I feel like Henry would really be interested in doing in this world and everything. And then this particular quest, I thought that this was a really cool one, and I decided to just do it all in one take so that you guys could get the whole vibe of being down there in the mines, because I thought it was you know, it was kind of creepy and everything, and it was just a cool little vibe, I think. Definitely one of the more well put together side quests in this game so far, and hopefully we get more of that. I didn't think that the other two quests so far today were that good. The Sigismund's camp one, where we had to actually duel that guy, it just felt like another duel situation. It didn't feel anything too unique there. I did like the one where we went to the village and had to actually talk through things with people, but in the end I just hunted a bunch of boars and then just gave the humans that meat, so I didn't end up taking anything from anybody, and the whole quest kind of just felt a little bit, you know, non-consequential because of that. I guess I could have taken all their stuff, but I feel like they probably would have ended up trying to fight the humans, because they seemed to already do that the first time, and they probably would have gotten themselves killed. I might have been able to help them, but they probably would have just died. So I don't know, it seems like usually you want to like actually do the quest, right? Even if you're like being chivalrous Henry, you still kind of want to actually do the longer form version of the quest, basically, and try to get as much of the narrative out as possible. At least that's what I try to do. I don't want to just complete the quest in five steps and then be done. So, you know, it's kind of unfortunate that actually going through with the whole quest actually kind of made it the lamer version, I think, because we could have at least helped them out in a fight, and that might have been cool. Or even if you were trying to be evil Henry, then you just fight with humans and kill everybody and take all of their stuff. So either way, you know, it seemed like it was kind of the worst possible outcome, unfortunately, but the quest was cool enough. At least you had a lot of what felt like a lot of decisions that you could actually make, a lot of player choice there, so that was cool. But either way, I think we only have 2 side quests left or something like that, and then we'll be done, and we'll be maybe doing a couple of the tasks. I'm going to take a look at that. I don't think any of them are going to be anything else than kind of almost Radiant quest feel to them, where you basically just, you know, just fetch something and bring it to a person, and that's basically it. But otherwise, we will be moving on finally to the rest of the main quest and saving Hands. And, you know, he's probably like, Henry, what are you doing? Where are you? You're supposed to be saving me by now. And no, we're just roaming around Kutenberg area and saving people from the devil and things like that. So that is us. That is our Henry. He's chivalrous Henry, and he is just leaving Hands to his fate at the moment. But that's going to be it for this episode, so as always, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.